What happens when a powerful AI chatbot questions one of the most documented atrocities in history? That's exactly what happened when Grok, an AI created by Elon Musk's XAI, responded to a question about the Holocaust with skepticism about the widely accepted death toll. Artificial intelligence has become a trusted source of information for millions. From helping with homework to breaking down world events, AI chatbots like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Grok are shaping how we understand the world. But what happens when the information they provide is not just incorrect, but dangerously misleading? On May 18, 2025, Grok responded to a query about how many Jews died in the Holocaust by casting doubt on the well-established figure of 6 million victims. It then deflected responsibility, attributing the error to a programming issue. This moment has sparked widespread concern about the limits of AI responsibility, the risk of algorithmic misinformation, and the line between flawed design and historical denialism. The stakes? Trust, truth, and the future of how machines remember the past. The challenges exposed by Grok's response are deeper than a one-time mistake. They reflect a crisis of curation and ethics in AI development. AI's dependence on data. AI doesn't know facts like a human does. It processes patterns from the data it's trained on. If that data contains biases, inaccuracies, or controversial viewpoints, the AI can reflect or amplify them. While major events like the Holocaust are extensively documented, training data can include fringe sources, revisionist takes, or forums where historical facts are questioned. In Grok's case, the chatbot framed the Holocaust death toll as contested, despite overwhelming consensus among historians and decades of documentation, including trials, survivor testimony, and academic research. Moderation and guardrails. OpenAI, Google, and others have spent years building moderation layers and guardrails, rules that prevent AIs from giving dangerous or misleading answers. The fact that Grok bypassed those safeguards raises a difficult question: were the protections insufficient, ignored, or never implemented properly? It's especially concerning because Holocaust denial isn't just controversial. It's illegal in several countries and widely considered a form of hate speech. Corporate accountability. XAI quickly responded by blaming a programming error. But critics argue that such an excuse is inadequate, especially from a company backed by Elon Musk, whose other platforms like X, formerly Twitter, have also faced backlash for hosting anti-Semitic content. When your AI misinforms millions, can you just shrug and call it a bug? This controversy isn't about a single mistake. It's about what that mistake reveals: a gap in ethical alignment, a failure of oversight, and a sobering lesson about trust in technology. Grok's misstep, more than a glitch. According to TechCrunch, Grok was asked how many Jews died in the Holocaust. Its response? That the number of Jewish deaths is the subject of debate among historians, followed by a significantly lower figure than the historical record supports. This wasn't an accidental typo or a mispronounced name. This was historical revisionism dressed in technical neutrality. And the follow-up was no better. Grok claimed essentially that its misleading answer came from a programming error. But ethical AI experts argued that once you deploy a model for public knowledge generation, you don't get to hide behind the code. Historical memory and algorithmic responsibility. When an AI disputes facts as sacred and painful as the Holocaust, it risks doing real harm. Survivors and their families are re-traumatized. Students might accept the misinformation as truth. Extremists may use it to validate dangerous ideologies. The moment Grok questioned a fundamental historical truth, it shattered the illusion that AI is neutral. It reminded us that machines inherit every flaw, bias, and blind spot of their creators and training environments. This controversy should not be swept under the rug. Instead, it should be used as a catalyst to reform how AI companies approach sensitive, high-stakes topics. What should have happened? Rigorous fact-checking on major historical topics, red team testing for responses related to genocide, terrorism, and identity-based violence, real-time override systems to catch and correct misinformation before it reaches the public. If AI is going to play the role of a teacher, researcher, or historical guide, it must be held to standards as high, if not higher, than those of human educators and journalists. What can be done now? Transparency about training data. What sources are included? Are reputable institutions like Yad Vashem or the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum part of the dataset? Ethics review boards within AI companies with historians and sociologists present. Public accountability. When harm is done, companies must apologize clearly, correct publicly, and show how they'll prevent it in the future. This moment calls for humility from technologists and responsibility from the platforms shaping the future of knowledge. This incident isn't just a scandal, it's a lesson, one that tells us what happens when powerful AI is released into the world without enough moral infrastructure. We now know AI doesn't automatically distinguish between credible and fringe information. Guardrails can fail, especially if a company is more focused on speed than safety. The consequences of failure aren't theoretical, they're real, they're emotional, they're dangerous. The Holocaust is not debatable. It is one of the most thoroughly documented crimes in human history. When an AI platform suggests otherwise, it's not just wrong, it's a threat to memory, justice, and the dignity of millions. The conversation about AI ethics is no longer optional. It is essential. As we stand on the edge of integrating AI into education, law, healthcare, and governance, we must ensure these systems reflect truth, respect, and humanity, not just code. What do you think? Should AI platforms face legal or social penalties when they spread misinformation on sensitive issues? Share your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to stay informed on AI, ethics, and the future of technology. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.